On process, and you are on the air.
I call the regular monthly board meeting of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Vice President Baez,
Present.
Director Herndon,
Here.
Director O'Halloran,
Here.
Director Peterson,
Present.
Director Phillips,
Present.
Director Simpson,
Present.
Director Taylor,
In attendance.
Director Woodward,
Here.
and President Miller.
Here.
We have 9 present.
I now ask the secretary to lead us in the recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance. Members, please mute your devices.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would now like to call upon Mr. Damian Blair to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Damian is a junior in the vocal music program at Milwaukee High School of the Arts. I ask everyone to please mute your devices to avoid digital interference during his performance. Mr. Blair, thank you so much.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn has died. Yet with the steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that with thick tears have watered. We have come treading our blood through the shed of the slaughter. Out from our gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by thy might led us into straight from the places our gods where we met thee. Lest our heart, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. Amen.
All right. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Spectacular, Damien.
Yes.
You would do
Yes.
James Weldon Johnson very proud. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you. Madam Secretary, well, before we begin tonight's meeting, we have a short announcement regarding interpretation services for the Spanish-speaking members of the audience.
Buenas tardes. Para escuchar la Junta Escolar en español, por favor de llamar al teléfono 312-626-6799 y marcar el número de Junta que es 988-3634-5719. Una vez más, para escuchar la Junta Escolar en español, llamar al teléfono 312-626-6799 y marcar el número de código de Junta que es 988-3634-5719. Gracias.
Thank you. Due to the contingencies of the COVID-19 public health pandemic, this meeting is being conducted virtually. Board members are participating remotely and the Central Services Building is closed to the public. However, in order to allow as much public participation as possible, in addition to our normal practice of broadcasting our meetings on radio station WYMS 88.9 FM and live streaming them on MPS website, we are broadcasting this meeting on the MPS YouTube stream, the link to which may be found on the MPS website on the broadcast page. Before we move our agenda, I would like to share a moment of silence to commemorate the passing of the following members of the MPS community. Carolyn Thill Ritter, a retired teacher from Vincent High School. Mary Verneston Roby Jones, a paraprofessional, most recently at North Division High School. Marjorie Dallin, a retired teacher. Dwight Benning, a former staff member from the MPS Recreation Department. Robert Kazmerchek, a retired paraprofessional from several MPS schools. And Bernice Rivers, a retired teacher from the Fritchie Middle School. If we could have a moment of silence, please. We will now move on to the items of business of our agenda. As is customary, no public testimony is taken at board meetings. For our listening audience, if you wish to access this evening's agenda, items and attachments online, you may do so by visiting esb.milwaukee.k12.wi.us. Now let us begin. Madam Secretary, what is our first item of business?
The first item of business on tonight's agenda is the awards and commendations, the Excellence in Education Award.
Each month, the Board of School Directors recognizes an outstanding school, student, staff member, parent, or community member for a display of excellence, achievement, or innovation that may serve as the example to our schools and to our entire community. This month, the Milwaukee Board of School Directors is proud to present the Excellence in Education Award to Joyce D. Peoples. Milwaukee Public Schools recognizes Mrs. Joyce Peoples for her tireless dedication to her students and for being selected as the Marcus Performing Arts Center 2021 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Peoples teaches middle school English language arts at Hartford Avenue University School and has been teaching in Milwaukee Public Schools for 20 years. She has been involved with Milwaukee's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebration for the past 19 years. The Marcus Performing Arts Center acknowledged Mrs. Peoples as a champion for the annual Dr. King birthday celebration in Milwaukee. Her work includes providing enrichment activities and encouraging her students to use their unique abilities, including in the Dr. King art, speech, and writing contests. Each year since 2014, the steering committee of Milwaukee's annual Dr. Martin Luther King birthday celebration selects a teacher who has shown a high level of commitment to the event over a number of years. Mrs. Peoples was selected for the energy and enthusiasm she brings to the event via her students. We are MPS proud. Milwaukee Public Schools recognizes Joyce D. Peoples for being selected as the Marcus Performing Arts 2021 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Teacher of the Year. The Milwaukee Board of School Directors recognizes and honors Joyce Peoples for her dedication, outstanding leadership, and commitment to excellence on behalf of the students of Milwaukee Public Schools. Will the superintendent please do the honors?
Doc,
And we're gonna bump elbows
okay.
after we take.
Yeah, we're gonna bump out. Okay.
You want to bump elbows in the picture too? Look, okay. Oh, do it.
Oh,
Do it.
Okay, let's smile. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mrs. Peoples, would you please say a few words for us?
Yes. First of all, good evening, President Miller, Dr. Posley, and the staff here, and the superintendent, excuse me, the school board staff. I want to extend my incredible appreciation and gratitude for this honor. And as I was telling Dr. Posley and Ms. Buck and a few others, that excellence is all the students, every human being has excellence in them. And I've been so blessed with the opportunity of 20 years of being able to serve children that enter the classroom every year with excellence beyond measure. And building relationships with them provides me the opportunity to just help them over time know their value and know their worth. And when you know your value and your worth inside, and it's not something that you get externally, but you really intrinsically believe that, the sky is the limit and there are no barriers. And with the Dr. Martin Luther King Essay Contest, students have the opportunity to display their excellence in the form of art, visual art, writing, and speaking. And it gives them a chance to be free to have their voice and not be judged, and to just be champions in what they do. And I'm grateful to be a part of that. I accept this amazing award with honor and appreciation from Dr. Posey, the school board, and Milwaukee Public Schools. And I just want to thank you very, very much for honoring me and presenting me with this incredible award.
Thank you, Ms. Peoples. Dr. Posley, did you want to make any comments?
President Miller and members of the board, I am just so elated. I had an opportunity to talk with Ms. Peoples and to see her young people, the amazing stuff that they are doing in the classroom on a daily basis, and how every single year she prepare and get students ready for the Dr. Martin Luther King writing and speech and art contest. Amazing job, well done. You truly make all of us MPS proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Were there any other board members that wish to comment? I don't see any hands up. Thank you, Ms. Peoples. Your work is amazing, and we really do love you.
You do have
Appreciate
Director
you.
Taylor. I'm sorry, Director
Oh,
Taylor raised her hand.
Okay, I can't see anyone
Yep.
from my screen. Director Taylor.
No, thank you, President Miller. I just wanted to thank Ms. Peoples for her work and being a light in our young people's life. It's truly grateful to see that, and we thank her for all of the hard work and the work that she'll continue to do with our students and our young people in the community of Milwaukee.
Thank you, Director Taylor. All right, were there any other comments? Not see any, Ms.
Director Phillips.
Okay, Director Phillips. I don't see her either. Okay, Director Phillips, go ahead.
Thank you, President Miller, and just wanted to also echo our appreciation to Ms. Peoples and just understanding how our students already have such greatness inside of them, and really viewing that work from how do I help them discover it so that they can take on the world. That was such a powerful sentiment. So thank you for being with our students and sharing with us tonight.
Thank you. Madam Chair, anyone else?
You do have Director Peterson.
Director Peterson.
Yes, I also wanted to thank Ms. Peoples and say that I really appreciate all her work on the Dr. Martin Luther King Writing Contest. I feel that that's such an important part of our institutional operation here these days because it's been around for 30 years. I wish every teacher could have heard your explanation of why it's important and how you bring and respect the excellence of our students. I'd love to see many, many more teachers in classrooms participate like you do. So thank you for being such an example.
Thank you, Director Peterson.
Madam Secretary, anyone else? All
I
right.
see no other hands in the queue.
All right, Ms. Peoples, thank you so much. Madam Secretary, what's the next recognition?
The next recognition is acknowledgement of the winners of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Writing, Art, and Speech Contest.
I ask that the administration introduce some of the winners of the 37th Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Writing, Art, and Speech Contest.
President Miller and members of the board, Keith Posley, Superintendent of Schools. This is always a special time as we celebrate Black History Month and have the privilege of hearing some of the MPS winners of the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Writing, Art, and Speech Contest. I would like to commend all of our students who participated and thank all of the individuals who supported our young people and spent time planning and judging the entries. It is a good problem to have so many moving entries. One of the individuals who I would like to thank is Ms. Natsiana Buck, who is with me this evening to say a few words about this year's contest and introduce our students who are with us. Thank you, Ms. Buck, and continue to do the great things that you do around the Dr. King Speech and Writing Contest. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Buck. Ms. Buck?
Thank you, Superintendent Posley. President Miller, members of the board, it is truly an honor that I present to you 7 of the 10 young orators who won first place in this year's speech and writing contest, who will share their vision through their voices. And I can attest that they truly are dedicated and purposeful toward achieving their goals and living out their dreams, truly making an impact in MPS moving forward. This year, the 37th Annual Martin Luther King Birthday Celebration was held on January 17, 2021, and it was a very momentous occasion. And during the not so new normal and the COVID-19 pandemic, our children were given the gift. And for this year's contest alone, educators were asked to familiarize our students with Dr. King's beliefs, words, and actions, focusing on this year's theme. As students prepared their notable artwork, creative writings, and eloquent speeches, reflecting and writing about how it related to themselves and others in their families, in communities, neighborhoods, and the world, they kept moving forward. So without further ado, I'd like to ask the wonderful Miss Essence Green, who is a kindergarten student who was first place. She attends Craig Montessori. Miss Beautiful Essence, you may begin.
Hi, my name is Essence. I am 5 years old, and I go to Craig Montessori School. In Martin Luther King Keep Moving Forward speech, he talked about a blueprint, which is a plan for the future. I plan to be an artist, a fashion designer, a teacher, a ballerina, and a gymnast. I am determined to do my best and to keep practicing until I reach my goals. I will keep moving forward. I am a good kid. I am special, nice, kind, and welcoming. That is a part of my blueprint. I will be a good adult. I believe that Black lives matter. I am worthy of respect. I am smart, I am beautiful, and I'm a child of God. I will keep moving forward. Martin Luther King, think I should be the best person that I am. I will do great things because I can do anything I want to. Fear is not an option. Fear is not an option, but faith is my finest factor. I am great, great, great. Well, I am great, great, great. Say that again. I am great, 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 great. And I will keep moving forward.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have Miss Isabella Krieger Silva, who is a fourth grader, and she was first place in the writing contest from Fernwood Montessori. Isabella?
Hello, my name is Isabella. I'm 9 years old, and I go to Fernwood Montessori. So this is my speech. You and me, together. COVID-19 is the reason many people are sad. When we walk along the street or in the park, people walk away from each other. We are divided. We are scared of each other. The sad part is that people of color experience this. Walking away, closing their hearts and their minds. I used to think I couldn't do anything about this. It's just little me. What can I do? I realized I was wrong because every one of us contributes to justice. It's yours to change. Take it. As in 1960, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Keep moving, for it may well be that the greatest song has not yet been sung. The greatest book has not yet been written. The highest mountain has not yet been climbed." I agree. This is our challenge. We need to see each other. We need to see all students, the poor, the elderly, the homeless, and the sick. Make the invisible visible so we can heal our community. As Gaines said, only people who can see the invisible can do the impossible. We must start with ourselves. Be kind. Let's bring art to our sidewalks. Write a poem. Have conversations. Be brave and stand for what is right. You can't wait for others to begin. We all have power. I have a special power. I am a biracial girl. Some people give me a label, but I am so much more than that. I'm an actress, a gymnast, a pianist, an actress, and yes, I am bilingual, but most of all, I'm proud of my two cultures. But we need to see equity as a verb. We need to do something. As Dr. King said, we must keep moving. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving, to keep moving forward. This is still true today in our society. Many people need to heal, to move forward. Everyone has power. We are making history as we speak. Take your power to talk about race, equity, and justice, to build the future and move forward. Thank you. That was my speech.
Thank you, Isabella. Thank you. Our next orator is Mr. Niles Jansen. Niles is a fourth grader at Fernwood Montessori, and he was first place in the speech contest. Niles?
Good evening, MPS family. I hope your day was good so far. I am going to be doing a speech called Move Forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words are just as important now as they were over 60 years ago. He once said we must be committed to the principles of love and justice. Life for none of us has been a crystal stair, but we must keep moving. For me, that means even when people are mean or times are hard, we must work for love and fairness. Once my cousin told me my skin was too dark to be a Power Ranger. It hurt me inside like a gunshot to my heart. And I felt the same way when I heard another Black person killed by police. George Floyd, the hurt crying out loud, protest bulletproof vests, tear gas, rubber bullets arrest, the Walgreens across the street on fire, and people screaming up and down the block. Sometimes life is scary and it can hurt a lot. Pollution causes climate change. COVID-19 took too many loved ones away and is killing Black people at a higher rate. But as Dr. King Jr. stated, it may well be that the greatest song has not yet been sung. The greatest book has not been written. It may very well be that the highest mountain has not been climbed. This is your challenge. Reach out and grab it and make it a part of your life. Just like Dr. King Jr. taught us, we must move forward. I think of Harriet Tubman following the North Star on dangerous trips to help many others find freedom. When some people said Obama was too dark to be president, he still ran and won 2 times. A football player took a knee in the anthem and he lost his job in the NFL, but he never stopped fighting for what was right. Scientists work day and night to find a cure for COVID. Greta Thunberg, as a child, is teaching us to reduce our carbon footprint. My teachers helped me make plans to recycle. My principal is teaching us to use restorative justice to heal harm instead of fight and yell. And it actually worked. Last semester, the person that called me a bad name became my friend. Caring people lead peaceful protests to support Black lives. So today I want to remind you to reach for the love and justice, reach against the racism, reach beyond the mean words, reach above with your gifts to uplift, no matter your skin color or age. Help create a world where all of our citizens feel proud and safe, a place where all who are sick are treated the same, a place where one can protest for Black lives and still have a job, a place where any kid can dream to be a Power Ranger or the president, a world where Black lives matter. That is a world worth reaching for, my friends.
Woo.
You are awesome. Our next contestant, Mr. Cornell Penniger Davidson. He was first place in the writing contest and actually third place for the speech contest in 6th grade. And Cornell is from Fernwood, Montessori. Cornell.
Good evening, members of the MPS Governing Board, members of the school board, Superintendent Posley, and fellow friends, family, and MPS students. My name is Cornell Penniger Davidson, and this is my speech titled Keep Moving Forward. When I think about the most important things in my life, I think about my past, my present, and my future. My past because I have family members who believe in me, guide me, and help me make decisions. My present because I face challenges every day and must make decisions about them, not knowing if they will affect the rest of my life. My future because I know that it has been about 100 years since members of my family have faced a worldwide pandemic. These realities are not an excuse to keep me from my goals. I am inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King to fight against obstacles and difficulties. I truly believe in his message to keep moving forward. My family taught me to be proud of my work, whether it was a large project or a small task, something I wanted to do or something I didn't. I was taught to study and give myself enough time to complete the job. I believe this can be applied to school and to society. What holds us back is that we don't always know what's next. It is easy to fear the unknown, but I can't give up when I know that people before me experienced slavery, racial segregation, and unfair treatment just to get a quality education or even exercise the right to vote. What I learned from them is that what they went through is difficult, but not permanent. Today, I watch the news and it looks frightening. It seems that a lot of adults are making immature decisions when children are watching. America's vision is to be the promised land, but with incidents like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Emmett Till, this seems not to be the case. This vision can be achieved by using small steps, focusing on one thing at a time. This way, the solution can be clear, and we can keep moving forward. You can't get anywhere without knowing your goal. You can't know your goal unless you take steps toward it. You can't take steps toward it with negative thinking and being around negative people. And you will never reach your goal if you don't learn from your mistakes. Because you don't keep moving forward when others believe in you. You keep moving forward when you believe in yourself. So I say to you, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Cornell. Thank you, Cornell. Next, we will have Ms. Kayleigh Phillips, who is the sixth grader, first place winner from Golden Mayer. Kayleigh?
Hello. Is this lighted well?
Go ahead, Kayleigh.
The year 2020, for many, has been the worst year of their lives, full of frustration, isolation, and anger, whether it is a pandemic, politics, or having to demonstrate that our lives matter. This year's encompassed more than any of us should have to handle. I, like many, have felt the same feelings, but I recognize that for the future to be better, we cannot be stagnant. We must keep moving forward. As Dr. King said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. March 11th, 2020 was the last day I was in a physical classroom. The next night was the start of my feeling of things rolling down the hill. I found out about the stay-at-home orders, because of which I couldn't see my friends, go to the mall with them, or even hug them. There were birthday parties, dances, and graduations missed. Even now, our classes are virtual and I must greet my teachers and peers through a screen. It's been 11 months of this pandemic, but I know it'll get better. We spent these last few years with leadership who made it. We spent these last few years under leadership with a president who made it clear that with his actions and his words and his tweets that in recent elections, residents demonstrated through their vote that they wanted to move forward in a better direction, one upholding principles of empathy and equity. Black Lives Matter is a rallying call that we've heard screamed through the streets of cities throughout this nation. Some people ask, why? Like Dr. King would, I explained to them that we want equality. We need to be treated with humanity. We're tired of watching videos of our people dying and praying that it doesn't happen to us. We will scream these words and demand systematic change until the world treats us right, much like Dr. King did. Frustration, isolation, and anger must be transformed into motivation, inspiration, and joy. If Dr. King was still alive, he would most likely be in the streets protesting with a mask on, motivating people. He kept moving forward, as should we. We all need to be a little bit more like him. The question is, are you ready to fly?
Thank you so much, Kayleigh. Beautiful job. Thank you. Our next orator is the first place winner in speech from eighth grade grade band. She's an 8th grade student at Fernwood Montessori, Ms. Zora Pinniger Davidson. Zora?
Good evening, members of the board, President Miller, Superintendent Posley, and people watching at home. My name is Zora Pinniger Davidson, and I am an 8th grader at Fernwood Montessori School. Don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them, Madam C.J. Walker once said. This quote means more to me now than it did before everything was canceled. I was in the middle of one of the most important years of my life. I had so many things to look forward to. I was going to the state forensics tournament, shadowing at high schools, and looking forward to becoming a first-time camp counselor. But coronavirus came, and that bright light of my future abruptly dimmed to nothing. My entire life was put on hold. I felt hopeless because it seemed I had lost everything I'd prepared for. I then thought about how this happened. It was out of my control. I understood that this was a worldwide pandemic. Thousands have lost their lives. Many more have lost their quality of life. Then, George Floyd was murdered, and many saw this on television, sparking unrest throughout the country. It reopened barely healed racial wounds, and African Americans demanded equity because we are human. There is an Ndinkra symbol known as Hai Wan Hai. The English translation is that which does not burn. African priests used to walk on hot coals without burning their feet. Therefore, Hai Wan Hai is a symbol reminding us to be tough through all the hardships. But more than that, they were able to walk across it because of their determination to get to the other side. So this means that not just being tough and enduring, but no matter what, you must continue towards your goal. But we can't only focus on the pain, the loss, and the sorrow. Martin Luther King taught us to dream of a better reality. This pandemic has shown us that opportunities for hope are always there if you have the right mindset. Hope does have a different look in 2020. I have been in conversations with older adults to show them how to use computers and work in a virtual world. We see families create new ways to honor and celebrate their loved ones when they are restricted from doing it in person. School boards and administrators worked hard around the clock to make sure that each student would have a quality education. Communities came together to feed each other, solve daycare problems, and create a new normal that might lead to a world of less hate and fear. A world of more love and understanding, like Dr. King demanded. All of this happened because good people were inspired to conquer problems, not run from them. Because just like in an airplane, the higher you climb, the more help you'll need, the more pressure you'll experience. You might even run into some turbulence along the way. But soaring there through the air is worth all the work it took to get there. You see, COVID has canceled many things, but it can't cancel love. It can't cancel hope. It can't cancel cooperation. It can't cancel healing. It won't cancel me, and I will keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Zora. And our last contestant, the first place winner for our 9th and 10th grade competition, and also one of the orators in our wonderful community, Miss Janiyah Williams from Golda Meir. Miss Janiyah.
Hello, I'm Janiyah Williams from Golda Meir High School, and this is my speech. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. A simple quote with a powerful message. A quote that needs to be heard, especially this year during these trying times. We are so easy to give up because we are so afraid to be face to face with our biggest challenge, struggles. This is when we must step into the mind of Dr. King. Dr. King was faced with struggles ranging from racial discrimination to police brutality, even being arrested for protesting. Now, let's stop and think about this, because doesn't this sound familiar? Racial discrimination, police brutality, arrest for protesting. This is exactly what's going on now. And when Dr. King was faced with these struggles, he kept moving forward. So what do you think we should do? Keep moving forward. We can't be so quick to give up, because if we are, we might miss out on our chance to make a change. So no matter how many struggles come, challenges you face, or how many doors close, keep moving forward. Even when you feel like your back is against the wall, keep moving forward. Even when everything isn't going your way, keep moving forward. I keep moving forward because I'm so sick and tired of my people getting killed, and I'm tired of seeing Black mothers' eyes filled with tears, and how we still going through this pain after 400 years. I keep moving forward for Breonna Taylor because she just wanted to sleep. I keep moving forward for George Floyd because he just wanted to breathe. I keep moving forward because I'm only 16, but I'm still speaking on the same things as Dr. King. Keep moving forward because we're the next generation. We have to be the ones to stand up and change this nation. Keep moving forward. Even when you're fed up, remember to walk with pride and to always keep your head up. Keep moving forward because Dr. King did it for us. He was faced with challenges, but he never gave up. He kept moving forward through every false accusation. He kept moving forward even through discrimination. Keep moving forward because the future depends on you. Keep moving forward no matter what you're going through. I keep moving forward because somebody is dependent on me to be their voice or even to be their reason to keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Janaya. President Miller, Superintendent Posley, our students are resilient. Our students have a voice and they have impacted our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Buck. They are brilliant. They are brilliant, and I really appreciate the work that we appreciate the work that you've done. Board members, would you like to comment? Madam Secretary, are there any, do you see any hands forward?
Yes, I do see Director Taylor's hand.
Okay, let's start with Director Taylor.
And Director O'Halloran, I'm sorry.
And Director, okay.
Thank you, President Miller. I just wanted to say, great job. That is the way of excellence to all of our students. We often hear, about these young students of color, not always in a very good light, but tonight they showed us that they are brilliant. They definitely make us more than MPS proud, but they make me proud to be someone that lives in the same city with them and seeing that they are our future. And I see presently that they are doing great things. I just think all of the people that was involved in the Martin Luther King presentations, and want to say, keep up the good work. And as one of your board members, we are always available and here to ensure that you have all of the opportunities that are needed for you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, any
You have
other?
Director O'Halloran,
Director O'Halloran,
Director Simpson, Director Herndon, and then Director Peterson.
Okay, Director O'Halloran.
Thank you, and I'll keep it super brief. Tonight I'm wearing my I Love My Public Schools shirt, because it's I Love My Public Schools Week. And I just, hearing from the kindergartner on up through high school, all of these students make me so proud of our city. I'm just echoing basically what Director Taylor just said, but I'm just so proud of the students, and I want to thank all the staff that took the time to put the presentations together and help highlight all of these wonderful students. And thank you so much for coming on tonight, and thank you.
Thank you. Director Simpson.
Yeah, I just want to thank the students, of course, for their amazing talent that they shared with us this evening, the families who support them, and then the teachers, of course, who guided them as they worked on these speeches and their writing, and all the other winners for the visual arts and everything. And I just really, those words that our kids are speaking to us about struggles and working for things like love and justice and kindness really show us how much our students see, how much they listen, how much they know, and just want to encourage them to keep using their voices. It's the most powerful thing you have, your voices and ideas, and I just want to encourage them to continue. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Simpson. Director Herndon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I would like to commend Ms. Buck for her hard work with the young people. And then I would like to commend the wonderful speakers we had. I've been a supporter of the Martin Luther King speaking event for many, many years. And as the young people said, due to COVID, there were changes, but there's always a bright side too. And I see tonight as a bright side that this event is both on TV and on the internet, and our whole city, the whole country can see what our young people are capable of doing. And I am so proud of them. Congratulations to you all, and keep up the good work, because the future is yours. Anyway, where you want to go, you will be able to go. Anything you wish to achieve, you will be able to achieve it. You showed us that tonight. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Director Hernan. Director Peterson.
I echo what everyone else has said. I'll just say thank you to everyone, and the fact that the words tonight really inspired me to keep on going too. Sometimes Martin Luther King inspires the young people, but in turn, you all the young people, especially going down to 5-year-old kindergarten, inspired me. We're going to keep up doing our work here at the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Chair, anyone else wanted to speak?
You have Director Phillips and Baez.
Okay, Director Phillips.
Thank you, President Miller, and just echoing the rest of the board members. And no, I'm so grateful that we have these board meetings recorded. So I'll definitely go back on the YouTube stream and re-listen to your powerful words on days that I need it, because, like you said, these are hard times that will keep moving forward. And thank you so much for being an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you, Director Phillips. Director Baez.
Yes, I want to congratulate the presentations of these children that were fabulous, and somebody said to me, "Oh, I'm a little bit nervous, etc., etc." No, nervousness is an important part of coming before a group of adults. Some of us with white hair. It doesn't matter. It's important that they feel that we know they are doing their best and they are fabulous. But I also want to do a shout out to Director Peterson. Had it not been for the incredible effort that was put into ensuring that Milwaukee Public Schools will give continuity to this purpose of Martin Luther King Day and the writings, the essays, the artwork, etc., that I know Director Peterson put a lot of time into that. Rethinking Schools put a lot of time into that. And some people don't remember because, like me, he's getting old, and I think that we need to congratulate those people among us that have made Milwaukee Public Schools better. And I think Director Peterson deserves a recognition for that.
Thank you. I think Director Woodward hadn't. Director Peterson, did you want to respond to that?
Director Woodward should go first if she wants to speak.
Okay. Director Woodward, do you have comments?
Oh, well, I just would like to thank all the people that work with our youth and students to learn more about their history, because it is said that a people that don't know the history is bound to repeat it. And we've somewhere along the line, we fell down. And I'm glad to see that this year, more than ever, TV, all station, PBS, everything has been running about African-American history. The Black churches have seen more this year since all of the crime and violence that is occurring, that has also occurred in the past, that is happening now. And I am grateful for all those who have brought this forth, but it just don't stop with February. This is something should be go on every day. People should be proud of who they are, encourage them to do all that they can do. And I am grateful and thankful for the children and the great orators that they presented. And thanks for Ms. Bucks and all the people that work with her to bring this Martin Luther King Day speakers forth. And so thank you very much, you all.
Thank you, Director Woodward. Director Peterson, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo that about history, and just a little history about the writing contest. It came after in the heels of the desegregation of Milwaukee Public Schools. And one of the things that was noticed by a group of colleagues was that actually teaching of African American history declined because African American teachers were spread out, and there wasn't much support by the district. The school board at the time opposed desegregation in terms of the importance of teaching Black history. And so it actually declined, and a group of people in a caucus of the union called Educators United, including Paulette Copeland, the late Paulette Copeland, Danelle Johnson, Rita Tenorio, and I and others, decided to try to launch a writing contest to encourage teachers to teach African American history. And for the first couple of years, there wasn't a lot of support, but about at the second and third and fourth year, both the union and the district got behind it, and it became what it is, today. So it was from a few people working initially, and now a huge number of people support it. So, and I thank you, Dr. Baez, for reminding me of that history.
Thank you, Director Peterson. Very interesting. So I think we'll move forward with, unless there's other comments. Anyone else in the queue, Madam Secretary?
I see no additional hands in the queue.
All right. What is the next item of business?
The next item on tonight's agenda is action on the minutes of the January 2021 special and regular meetings of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors.
Do any members of the board have corrections for the minutes of January 2021? Seeing no objections from the board, the minutes are approved as amended.
So noted.
Madam Secretary, are there any reports or communications from the superintendent?
Yes, Mr. President, we do have one communication, and that is the monthly report from the Superintendent of Schools. This is an informational item, and although it has been noticed for possible action, no action is required.
Does the superintendent wish to make comments?
Yes, President Miller and members of the board. My monthly report outlines some of the highlights of Black History Month, including the singing of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, by one of Milwaukee High School of the Arts students, Damon, did a moving rendition, as well as hearing our student speakers. February is a time to recognize the rich contributions, as well as the day-to-day excellence of how African Americans have shaped this nation. Black History Month is 1 month in the year, but we celebrate and acknowledge that Black history is present and significant 365 days a year. Congratulations to all of our students, staff, and greater school community who focused on special ways to celebrate Black History Month. Please refer to my report for the names of the MPS students selected for the Milwaukee County Transit System Rosa Parks Scholarship, the 2021 Milwaukee Times Black Excellent Lavinia Johnson Scholarship, and the Lester L. Carter Jr. Scholarship, also part of the Black Excellence Awards. February is also the time to honor and tell our school counselors how much we appreciate their efforts in supporting our students. Thank you for your service. Kudos are also in order for Lois Womack, an MPS teacher at Marvin Pratt, who was named as one of the 5 Wisconsin educators for the 2020 Presidential Awards of Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. I will end my comments by reminding everyone to encourage all of our high school students to complete the FAFSA. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Do board members wish to make any comments? Madam Secretary, do you see any hands up?
I do not see any hands raised regarding the superintendent's report.
Madam Secretary, are there any reports or communications from the Office of Board Governance?
Yes, Mr. President, we do have the monthly report on legislative affairs affecting MPS from Mr. Chris Thiel. This is an informational report, and although it has been noticed for possible action, no action is required.
Thank you, Dr. Mann, President Miller, members of the board. Chris Thiel, Governmental Relations for MPS. Just a quick update, positive update this evening. Kind of the two major things happening right now are the beginning of the state budget process. We had the introduction of Governor Evers' budget last week. And as we've discussed, kind of heading into this moment, there are a number of items we have been hopeful that the governor would include. And in fact, the work that he and his administration have done putting together the executive budget has been fantastic, I think, for everyone in the K-12 education community across the state. Just to give you a few of the baseline details, the governor has proposed a $200 per pupil increase to the revenue limit in the first year of the biennium, another $204 increase in the second year of the biennium. He has included an increase for special education reimbursement from roughly 28% where we are today to 45% reimbursement in the first year of the biennium and 50% in the second year of the biennium, which is obviously tremendous and something we've been talking about as a board and a district for a long period of time. You may recall that 2 years ago, the governor introduced a 60% reimbursement level. The challenge that I think the administration is working through this time around is obviously the pandemic and the costs related to that. What the governor did do in his budget is create a hold harmless provision regarding student enrollment. You may recall that in past meetings, we talked about the fact that the state as a whole saw a massive decline in student count, roughly 21,000 students, which is going to be an anomaly. So the governor, recognizing that, had to provide a hold harmless subsidy. So in terms of balancing all these different things, still was able to get to the very, very helpful and very much needed 50% reimbursement rate for special education. On top of that, he's maintained his commitment to finding a path for the state to join other states to support economically disadvantaged students by creating a $75 per pupil categorical aid for students who are challenged by poverty, which will definitely be beneficial. And then he's also included an increase and a broadening of support for English learners across the state of Wisconsin. We have a system where not every district qualifies for that support. The governor is broadening that out so that students throughout the state will receive support. And he's moved the reimbursement rate from 8%, where the state is now, up to 15%, which will obviously be of benefit. It's, I guess it's always surprising to me. It's certainly surprising to others when we tell them that in MPS, we have at least 77 different languages spoken. So when we talk about bilingual, bicultural, and English learners, it's not only the number of students, but the broad number of languages that will receive support. Obviously, debate has begun. We've heard some reaction from the legislature. I think a couple of things that people should want to probably keep an eye on moving forward is that the Legislative Fiscal Bureau will do another revenue estimate for the state in the weeks ahead. So there will be some debate about how much of this budget can be supported and are there revenues available. So far, thankfully, revenues are available. And the hope is that when we receive those new estimates, they will continue to trend in a positive direction. And then the other thing on the horizon is it does in fact look like Congress is moving swiftly with the American Recovery Package that the Biden administration has put forward. They are on track, it still seems, to potentially vote on that package by mid-March. And so if that occurs, that is slated to provide not only additional support to K-12 education, but up until this time, we have not seen support for, or as much support for state and local entities. And as we all, work together as a community to fund all the things we partner in, that should provide some benefit as well. So we're in the beginning stages of that budget process, and we'll monitor both the state and federal level and hope that things continue to move in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thiel. Before I take questions or comments, I just want to say that Director Taylor has left the meeting for a very good purpose. She's part of an effort to take supplies to Texas to help with communities that have not received water and a whole variety of things. And so she is heading out this evening to do that work, and we should be very proud of her. Do board members have any comments or questions? Madam Secretary? Oh, I see
Do have Director O'Halloran and then Director Peterson in the queue.
Director O'Halloran, okay. And then Director Peterson. Director O'Halloran?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're trying to unmute. Okay. I thought maybe you didn't hear. That's all
I'm
right.
moving slowly tonight.
Understand.
I'm just kidding. So I was just wondering, in the past, I know during the biennial budget process, there were public hearings where the public could testify. And so I know the governor has released his budget, and now I'm sure the legislature will say it's all garbage and they'll rewrite it entirely, is what I'm anticipating. And hopefully I'm wrong. But can you just give me an idea of if you know if or when there will be a chance for the public to weigh in? I know that we had the people's budget process before the governor released his budget, but now that we have, some idea of what is actually in it, will they be taking public testimony? And how can we get involved with that?
President Miller, Director O'Halloran, thank you very much. I may have missed it, but I don't believe they've put out a calendar yet for when those public hearings will be. And I don't necessarily know what form they're going to take, if they are going to be in person in some way, as we see some of the back and forth at the state level about virtual versus in person. What will happen and what is happening is the governor, once he introduces his budget, it's handed over to the Legislative Fiscal Bureau. The Legislative Fiscal Bureau then has the role of going through all of the areas and kind of, frankly, dissecting the executive budget and putting it into a form that the Joint Finance Committee can look at. So that usually takes about probably at least 2 more weeks. Perhaps 3 more weeks. So we may have a better answer of public hearings by late March. They usually begin, I assume they will again, with meetings with the head of the various departments. And so obviously the one we would be interested in, among others, is the Department of Public Instruction coming in to testify. So I can update you when I have that information, but that's looking at 2 to 3 weeks out.
Any follow-up, Director O'Halloran? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for that. I just wanted to try to stay ahead of it this time, because last time, obviously, I announced I would walk across the state kind of at the last minute, and hopefully we can rally people a little earlier in the process, and perhaps with more success if we're a little earlier. So that was the only reason why I was hoping to get that information. So anything that you hear, if you can share it with me and other board members, so that we can share it with our constituents to help them, empower them to become part of the process as well, would be appreciated. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Director Peterson, who is next? Madam
That is
Secretary?
correct, Director Peterson.
Director Peterson, go ahead.
My questions were answered. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else in the queue?
We
Dr.
have
Mann?
no additional board members in the queue.
All right. Are there any reports or communications from the Office of Accountability and Efficiency?
Yes, Mr. President, we also do have the monthly report from Mr. Matt Chasen of Accountability and Efficiency. This is an informational item, and although it has been noticed for possible action, no action is required. Mr. Chasen.
Thank you, President Miller, Matt Chasen, Office of Accountability and Efficiency. That report is before you. I just want to briefly thank again the administration, the Office of Board Governance, and the City Attorney's Office for their collaboration in crafting the vendor code of conduct, which, subject to future board action this evening, will become the policy of the district after tonight. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions or comments by board members?
There are no individuals in the queue at this point.
Okay. We will now have the reports of the standing committees. Since public hearing was given at the committee meetings, the board, as is customary, will not be giving public hearing on these reports this evening. Madam Secretary, what is the first report?
The first report is that of the Committee on Legislation, Rules, and Policies. No items of this report have been set aside for separate consideration.
Do any board members wish any items to be set aside? Madam Chair, anyone?
I see no hands.
Madam Secretary, what is the next report?
The next report is that of the Committee on Parent and Community Engagement. No items of this report has been set aside for separate consideration.
Do any board members wish any items to be set aside? Not seeing any. Madam Secretary, what is the next report?
The next report is that of the Committee on Student Achievement and School Innovation. No reports of this, no items of this report has been set aside for separate consideration.
Do any board members wish any items to be set aside? Not seeing any. Can I please have a motion on the reports of the standing committees?
I so move.
Director, Vice President Baez moves. Can I get a second on that? Director Peterson?
Director Peterson is waving.
Okay, so we have a motion from Vice President Baez and a second from Director Peterson. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
On Vice President Baez's motion to approve the reports of the standing committees, seconded by Director Peterson. Vice President Baez.
Aye.
Director Herndon.
Aye.
Director O'Halloran.
Aye.
Director Peterson.
Aye.
Director Phillips.
Aye.
Director Simpson.
Aye.
Director Woodward.
Aye.
President Miller.
Aye.
That's 8 ayes, 1 temporarily absent for the rest of the meeting. We will note that the motion passes.
Thank you. Director Phillips, did you want to comment?
Yes, for anyone that was up for promotion, hire, congrats on your role here at MPS. Go forth and do great things.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, are there any items of regular business?
Mr. President, we do have 2 items of regular business, and item number 1 is the report of the board's delegate. The first report is that of the board's delegate to the Head Start Policy Council.
Before we go to that, did we ask for a report from AF&P?
Did I skip that one? Hold on.
I think someone texted me and said, "What about AF&P?" I'm thinking it's that we didn't do that because we did.
The first report is from Accountability, Finance, and Personnel.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right.
No, and if the listening audience did not hear it, I will go through the standing reports again. And if any board members would like to set any aside, we can set those items aside. The first report is that of the Committee on Accountability, Finance, and Personnel. Are there any items to be set aside on that report?
No. Okay. No, that just, we may have skipped it.
Okay, that's possible.
I'm not sure because we may have. Whatever, we know how to correct things. So, all right. If you would proceed with the reports, please, the regular business reports.
Okay. The first report of the regular items of business is the reports of the board's delegates, and the first report is that of the board's delegate to the Head Start Policy Council.
Thank you. That report is before you. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I just will say they are a busy little group and we should all be very proud of what they do.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Simpson. Madam Secretary, what's the next report?
The next report is that of the board's delegate to the District Advisory Council.
Director Phillips.
Thank you. That report is before you, and big highlight was the focus on attendance and what we're doing within the virtual environment to ensure that. And I'm sure people have seen things on social media and just how we're trying to get that effort up. So if you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to ask.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, what's the next item of regular business?
The next item of regular business is the report of the President of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors.
That report too is before you. If you have any questions or comments, please let either board governors or myself know. Are there any unfinished business items, Madam Chair?
Mr. Chair, we have no items of unfinished business.
Are there any items of new business?
We have no new business for referral.
Are there any communications for referral to committee?
This month, we have no communications for referral.
And Madam Secretary, next item, please.
Mr. Chair, that was the last item on tonight's agenda.
There being no further business before the board, this meeting is adjourned, and I want to thank everybody for their participation and our wonderful, wonderful students for the hard work that they did and they presented to us tonight. We walk in honor of them, and so it's great to have. I always welcome this month's presentations. They're always spectacular. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Have a
night.
good night.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take
Have a
care.
great night.